Oh, hey, bro.
Hey,
I wrote the book.
how'd you find it?
It was really good. We should do a YouTube video about it.
Good idea.
If you need clients, emails is one of the most effective ways to get a conversation started. Problem is getting harder and harder to cut through all the noise. Most people are playing a volume game and they're just blasting out a standard template. In this market, that's not gonna cut it. So today, we're gonna show you 3 simple steps so you can start crafting better quality emails that actually get responses. Let's get into it. So I'm just waiting for Ben to put the slides together and we are gonna be filming very soon. We've got a 2-camera setup. This is the wide, as you can see. It's a lovely shot of Ben on the wide, little smile. And then we've got the other camera right here that I'm gonna cut to right now. I don't know if Sven's gonna put this in the edit. Boom. This is called a side shot. Got 2-camera setup.
So before we get into crafting a good email, it's important we go through some basic safety guidelines. A lot of people use their primary domain to send cold emails, and that's very risky. What you really wanna do is start off by purchasing a brand new domain. So my normal domain is benmiller@take2brothers.co.uk. I would never use this one to send cold emails. What I would do is I would purchase a brand new domain, something that's very similar to my old domain, something like benmiller@take2brothers.com. And the reason I'm doing this is very simple. Your email, every domain, has an equivalent of a credit score. Now, if the credit score is good, your email will end up in people's inbox. The problem is if your credit score is bad, if your email or your domain reputation gets damaged, what happens is every single email will end up in a spam folder or a junk mailbox. So you can see the danger of using your primary email. If you send 100 emails and they all end up in a junk mailbox, your reputation will go right down, which means you can effectively no longer use that email for basic business interaction. So you've just purchased your domain, congratulations. The next step is to warm up that email. And the reason we do that is because your mailbox providers are constantly scanning your email to check the authenticity of the activity. Are you a genuine business owner who's sending quality emails, or are you just there to spam people? Obviously, we want to show them that we're a genuine business and we're not here to irritate people. One of the best ways to do that is to warm up your inbox. Now, you don't have to do this manually. You can use an automated software. Let me show you. I use something called Warm Up Inbox, which has been great. You can also use another software called Lemwarm. Essentially, there's hundreds of different softwares out there, but the basic principle is you're automating activity, sending emails and receiving emails for around 3 to 5 weeks. That's kind of our sweet spot. And you're basically building up your reputation before you start sending out emails. This is what mine looks like inside Warm Up Inbox. So I've been doing this for a few days now, and obviously you want as many green bars as possible, building up that reputation, mimicking positive activity so that by the end of it, we can send out emails and it will land straight in their inbox. Number 2, targeting the right people. Here's a question. Would you rather send 1,000 emails and get a 0.5% response rate? Or would you prefer to send 30 to 40 targeted emails and get a 10% response rate? I can tell you now the latter is more sustainable and you're gonna get better results in the long run, but it's really important that you understand who you're targeting and how to identify them. Let me give you an example. For me and Sam, this is what our sweet spot client looks like. They're typically executive search firms or they're recruitment firms who specialize in exclusive or retained assignments. They're normally one-man bands or small teams of up to 3. They've been trading for 5 to 10 years. They've been in recruitment for at least 15 years, maybe longer. They're normally serving a specific niche. They're mostly males earning between 100 and 200K per year, typically in their late 40s or early 50s. Normally they have a family and kids, based outside of London more often than not, really passionate about what they do and providing a great service. That's really important to them. They already use LinkedIn, but they're not really posting very frequently. And they want to generate an additional 100K per year from using LinkedIn. So you can see, I'm being very specific about this. I'm actually going into quite a lot of detail, and this is kind of shortening it for this video. I could go into a lot more detail. But the point is, Me and Sam are very crystal clear in who our ideal customers are, and that makes it much, much easier to speak their language and present an offer that's going to be attractive. So guys, before you send one email, you need to get crystal clear on your ideal customer. One of the easiest ways to do this is to look at historical data. Historical data doesn't lie, and often when you look back at the previous customers you served, there's common themes, common threads between the people that you really enjoy working with. So go after those people, write it down, and try and be as specific as possible. Okay, here it is, guys. The email structure you've all been waiting for. Let me read through it once, and then I'll go back through and deconstruct it. Good to connect, Jim. Looks like you've had an amazing career, cooking and traveling all around the world. Israel is one of my favorite hotspots for good food. Just a quickie. I work with experienced recruiters to help them secure an additional 100K on LinkedIn by tightening up their current process. Here's an example of a chap we worked with who's now made over 100K. Can you take on more clients' candidates at the moment? Let me know and we can book in a time to chat. So as you can see, guys, it's really simple. It gets straight to the point and everything has its place. Let's start off with the beginning. So the first 2 lines where I talk about his amazing career, cooking and traveling, this is information that I've gathered from his profile or his website. It really shows that, one, it's not an automated email, and that I've gone the extra mile to understand him as a person and what he enjoys. The second line, starting off with just a quickie, this is the offer. I mention 100K specifically, and I talk about tightening up the current process. This is really important, and it's very specific to the people that we're speaking to. Typically, we ask people what they want to achieve in terms of tangibles. A lot of the time it hits around the 100K mark. And so that's what we mention. And typically it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's actually about improving what they're already doing. And that's why we say tightening up their current process. So the third line, here's an example of a chap we work with who's now made over 100K. So the third line is the case study. Here's an example of a chap we work with who's now made over 100K and a link to the case studies. This is really important because it shows that, actually what we're saying, we can back it up with evidence. Nothing speaks louder than proof. And finally, we end with a very light CTA. Can you take on more clients, candidates at the moment? Let me know and we can book in a time to chat. It's not too pushy, it's not too salesy. It's just giving them a gentle nudge if what we're saying resonates. Sam, it's your turn to speak. You've got to get in there.
But I don't know what to say.
Just get in
there. Okay. That was today's episode on how to create a great email list. I hope that was useful and have a good day. See you later.